Testing. Testing. Test.
Collegiate Academy and the South Carolina High School League promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and fans. We request your cooperation in supporting student athletes and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, derogatory comments, or other intimidating actions directed at athletes, officials, team representatives, or other fans will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. We appreciate your cooperation in creating a safe and positive game environment. Be loud, be proud, and be positive. At this time, we ask you to please rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, in Land Shark Nation. We are live from the Reef at Oceanside Collegiate Academy in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina for tonight's lacrosse showdown between two state powerhouses. As always, I have the coach, Chris Harrison, to my right, Angie Gregory on the camera to my left. And, Coach, we are welcoming in the Boiling Springs High School Bulldogs, the number 4 team in the state, and they are ruling the upstate at this point in time. And we're ready to get back at it. It feels weird that we only have 2 games to go in our regular season. We'll celebrate our seniors tomorrow night in the finale against IMG, but business at hand is Boiling Springs.
I can't believe we're here already, Tony. We were just saying 2 more games in this regular season, hopefully on the playoffs from there. It's an exciting time. There is work to do here tonight. This Boiling Springs team, as you said, has been running the upstate pretty well. They came into town last night, challenged the Beckham Bengals, our crosstown rival, 19-7 loss against Beckham. So maybe they're a little stung by that, and it will be important for us to pounce on them here early.
It sure will. And then I had a little time with Coach Tanner Mills from the Bulldogs in his 3rd season at the helm at Boiling Springs. He came from Lexington. He describes this team as fun. They've had a lot of fun this year. It's a sophomore-heavy team. We know what that's like. They're modeling this team, interestingly enough, after Oceanside. He looks at our program. He looks up to our program and how we've built it coming out of COVID. So a huge compliment there. And he's looking at little details that we do. It was a really good meeting with him. He's excited to get it on. They got 10 wins under their belt. They're sitting with the number 4 ranking in the state. Might change after last night. Might change after tonight. But, clearly Oceanside, Wando, and Beckham are ruling the roost in the state. And then you've got everyone else, and they're at the top of that list.
Right. Yeah, Tony, they're definitely putting the work in. I rolled in here, I guess it was probably 5:50 or so to set up. And they had the whole field out here practicing. So good on them getting ready for this game. And about to play some lacrosse here.
And here we go. It's whistled live, and we have live lacrosse going on. The Clamp loses the first face-off, but then Peanut Seaton gets it back. They take a couple swipes at it. He puts it on the ground, and there's A.J. Zarzaka, the sweeper. He comes in, and Carter Gregory rips it. I'm sorry, I got a sun glare. I couldn't actually see the number. We're going to have a spectacular sunset here by halftime, I'm sure. But right now it's dead in our eyes, so sorry for the stumble on the broadcast there. We've got the one offense on the field. There's MJ Magic Zanone at the top, over to the trigger, and Jackson Hyman off under the light post. Jackson takes it, wheels it over to Carter Gregory at the far side, and they're going to set it up.
Parker Lamb, senior goalie, coming out with a big first save there against Carter. Shot was backed up by Brody, and getting to see our established offense here.
The Bro-Man Hollingsworth, and there's another rip by Carter and a good save. A rugby scrum in front of the net. Ian's going to draw the penalty. Ian is slow to get up. Ian Long, slow to get to his feet. Looks like he's okay. Little shaken up on the play. He took a pretty good dump, and there's going to be a slash. And we're going to have the man-up offense on the field at the 11:05 mark here.
Oceanside active in their offensive zone, and Lamb so far answering the call.
So the boys are going to set it up. A.J. up top. Jackson Hyman's going to bring it in from under the light post. We'll see the all-too-familiar rotation coming through. Jackson takes a look, pushes it back behind to Ian. Ian over the trigger, up top to Carter, swings it over to A.J. That's round 1. Jackson took a peek, sort of had it cocked, but decided not to pull it. A.J. over to Jackson, and here it comes, the rip high wide. Backed up by Ian. Ian Long. Seems fine after the incident in front of the net. Trigger, A.J. Clearly they want to work that other side. There's Ian, and he finds the twine at the 10:36 mark. Ian Long, the freshman, breaks the ice, and he just continues to stack on that scoring record that he's chasing.
He continues to love that drift across in front of the crease, just picking that pass coming through and shooting across his body. Great goal there by Ian Long. 1-0 lead for Oceanside, 10:36 in the first.
And here we go. So the Clamp is back out on the dot, facing it off against number 3. That's Brooks Wilkins. This team, this Boiling Springs team, sophomore heavy. They do have a couple seniors. We're going to talk about them through the night. A couple heavy hitters on attack, although they haven't had the ball in our zone, so we haven't seen them. AJ digs it out, can't find it, lost it in the glare there, puts his body in front of it, and AJ comes up with it. He gets dumped. No flag. And here come the Bulldogs into the zone. As we welcome in the audience from Boiling Springs, the coach had the live stream link, so I'm sure it's made its way through cyberspace to all the families up north. We want to welcome you in. Coach and I are a couple of Oceanside dads, we like to call it. We call it straight balls and strikes for and against our team, and we're going to get a good look at this Boiling Springs offense.
Tell you what, Tony, so far this Boiling Springs team not afraid to use the body. We've seen a couple big hits here in the game.
They got some size, Coach.
Yeah, Oceanside's going to need to respond.
Okay, here's one of their big guns. Got the ball up there. And folks up in Boiling Springs, going to be a lot of numbers early in the game. As we get to know the roster, by the end, you'll think we're calling it like we've been playing against you forever.
You may even get some nicknames out of us.
Yeah, it's almost inevitable. Peanut Seaton does the can opener. He comes away with it, dishes it off to his buddy AJ, and AJ is running the field. This could end in a shot. He feeds it over to Broman. Broman to Ian, and tic-tac-toe. There's the goal. 9:14 in the first. Oceanside up 2-0.
That play set up by a beautiful cause turnover by Peanut Seaton along the Oceanside sideline, moving the ball up quickly to A.J. Zarzak and moving it upfield. Bang, bang in front of the net. Nice job there by Oceanside. Opportunistic goal. 2-goal lead here in the first.
Oceanside looking to take care of business. Like we said, they've been very businesslike. We've had a lot of lopsided games. This team is good. We know it. And Oceanside's been pretty good at staying humble and taking care of their business here. So we hope to see that for the rest of the evening. AJ sweeps it out. Peanut goes back, scoops it up. Can't quite get it. Now he's got it. Feeds it out to – can't see who that is.
That's Cole. That's a clamp.
Oh, Cole. That's a clamp. Carter Gregory with a big rip over into the supplementary lacrosse net in the corner.
And we continue to apologize to everyone at home. The sun is just at such an angle right now that when we look out to the field, it's almost blinding. But we'll keep working here.
There's a glare off the sheen of the turf here at the Reef. Jackson Hyman's got it over to Carter Gregory. They're really working that left side of the net, the left to right shot. The trigger with his natural left hand and big shot. Now, he's going to go that way, too. Trigger comes around. He's got it in his offhand. Goes back to the left. Pushes it back over to Jackson Hyman. Jackson looks like he's ready to wind and fire. We'll see. He takes a nice little buzz the tower there. Zanone backs it up.
No, that's a great backup by 30. By the goalie, actually, got out there. Nice job by Parker Lamb backing that up.
Parker Lamb will be playing lacrosse next year at Newberry with your girl on the girls' team there with
Correct.
Your daughter. So we have a Newberry Timberwolf. They are the Wolves.
Just Wolves.
Just Wolves. Newberry Wolves. So near and dear to Chris's heart here. Our statistician Marina behind me. Obviously, it's her daughter too. All right. Bulldogs come out. Winds over to number 30. Martini. Little drive inside. He dishes it off to 16. 16's going to Queens. That's a Queens commit. Big boy.
Good double team there by Reese and Peanut.
Robo Reese on the scene. Well, you don't want to be between those two. That's a compromising position. More glare. Peanut manages to gather it in. Thought he was thinking it. Gets it over to Ian. Brody takes a little shot in front.
Almost a little redirect goal there.
Yeah, dribbles across the goal mouth. Couldn't put it together. About a half second off on the connection there, I guess. So we've got Finn Wagner in the game.
Peanut was trying to drop in on the established offense there, but Finn kind of said, why don't you go back to the other side?
How about you take a little trot to the other side of the line and let some of us play? Caden Costa out there. Liam Rosebach checks in, so we got the two offensive line in. Little offhanded pass to Costa. Costa over to Finn Wagner. Ian Long. Two non-rights in the game. Ian's looking, pushes it over to Brody. Brody does a turnaround and dumps it. The Broman, the double deuce, Brody Hollingsworth.
Brody just so calm there as he turned and just kind of let that shot come to him and unfold. The defender kind of overplayed him a little bit. found himself with that open goal.
Well, Brody, for those that know him, the bro man is so laid back. Panic is not in his nature. So he is taking it easy down there. He ducked under the check, which I thought was, pretty heady of him. He is a savvy player.
Well, that used to be ezy for him. Now he's one of the taller guys on the team.
Right,
he's actually got to really duck.
When he was 4 feet tall until 10 minutes ago, he didn't have any problem with that, but now he's a beanpole.
Oceanside mishandling the ball there a little bit. See if we can play an aggressive ride, turns into a slashing penalty.
And that might be Carter Gregory on the slash there.
I think it may have been. So we'll have a free play here for the Bulldogs until the pickpocket steps up.
So Cash Money Carter, or is that Brody going to kneel down? No, I think it's Carter.
Yeah, I thought it was Carter.
I'm pretty sure.
He's taking his time. He's like, I don't hang out over here very often.
It's more of a saunter that he's got rolling into the knee slot there.
He's not too happy with those accommodations.
No, he's not comfortable there. And so Bulldogs are going to bring it in. We're going to see their man up for the first time tonight. Man down defense, what we call the fortress, wrapped around goalie Gavin Harrison, who's been on a heater lately. Bulldogs wheel it around, back behind the net. AJ harassing the player. Big number 16 out front, twisted around, back. AJ's got it covered. There's Andy Jones makes his return to the lineup tonight after a couple games off for injury. He had
I heard that rumor today, and turns out it's true.
Yeah, how about that? It's funny how that works. He had a bit of an AC joint, and they get one past Harrison in net. It's going to be 3-1 Oceanside at the 5:52 mark.
Great ball movement there by the Bulldogs. They took their time, got that ball around. All of a sudden, they found their shooter right in the middle, wide open, and all they had to do was stick it above Harrison in goal. 3-1 lead, 5:52 left in the first.
So we're going to see Owen Kimker check into the game here at the close wing. Peanut Seaton over on the far wing. The clamp on the dot. Looks like Carter's out of the box, so full complement of attack regimen in the offensive zone. The clamp comes away with it clean, and he's sailing down over to Carter Gregory. We get the touch. Peanut's going to wheel back around and trot out of the zone. Established offense coming on. The trigger, MJ Zanone. Ian Long feeds it up to Titus. Titus pushes over to Jackson Hyman. Back over to Carter Gregory under the post. Gets a nice pick from Jackson. Gets around. Took a look at it, didn't like it. And there was the trigger, wide left.
That ball just kind of fell out of Titus' stick as he was shooting and off shot, but backed up by Oceanside.
Brody Hollingsworth, the bro man, behind the net. Pushes it up to Jackson Hyman. Jackson's got a short on him. Got to like that. Backs it out. Pushes it over to Titus. Titus has got some grass to his right. He's looking. Doesn't have a way to go there. Harassed by the long pole. Pushes it back to Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth looking to dish it off to someone. Picks up Hyman. Defender tries the can opener. Nothing doing there. Jackson gets his stick out of the way. Carter Gregory behind the net under the goal post. Surveying. Makes a move. Puts his foot in the ground. Comes back out. He gets Brody in front. And Brody Hollingsworth gets it. 4-1 Oceanside on a great move by Carter Gregory. Puts his foot in the ground, shakes off the check, dishes it to Brody in front, and lights out.
You think Carter's doing something there to try for the goal, and somehow he, like you said, put his foot in the ground, literally stopped on a dime and got that ball to Brody in the middle. Beautiful job.
Outstanding. So we've got Robo Reese checking in at the long pole here at this wing. Can't see who's over on the other side.
That's your boy.
That's AJ. That's why I can't see him. He's far and he's short.
We have a procedure on Cole to clamp, so it's going to be a free in here for the Bulldogs.
So Lincoln Husky. I love that name. Lincoln Husky. The Queens commit is going to bring it in. Dishes it off. Back to Husky up top. Low pass. Robo Reese close D there. Sawyer Arnold makes his first appearance of the game on short stick D. CJ, good coverage on number 5. That's Jaden Kosick, I guess. I'm going to say Kosick. Sorry, folks, for the names. We'll get better. Good defense, AJ. Number 4 dishes it all the way over, gets it wide. Thomas got there just in time. Gavin had that post covered.
At 23, the shooter there had some space, but Thomas closed down on it quick and forced him to shoot wide.
Ball's in. Big shot coming. Number 5 clanks it off the crossbar. Goalie's best friend. Gavin had the low covered. The high was covered by the crossbar.
Sometimes you need your co-pilot in there.
I love it. Love it. We'll take it. And that's just how Gavin rolls. Great play by Andy Jones, breaking up the pass. Number 5 wheeling around. These gray jerseys with the red numbers are a little tough to read, especially with the glare. Pushes it over. Number 30, Dawson Martini. Shaken, not stirred.
There it is.
That's number 1. AJ, he ties the guy up. Another post. And Gavin Harrison manages to corral it. A lot of action by the net. Guy got just enough past AJ to get a shot off and clanked it off the post.
That was a strong series for the Bulldogs, moving the ball.
Dips it up to AJ. What a catch by AJ. A touch pass by Andy Jones. AJ makes an athletic catch. Brings it in the zone. The transition game is rolling for the Land Sharks.
Oceanside needing to switch some personnel here.
Broman, Liam Rosebach, pausing. Kamikaze Costa checking in. Saw Costa in warm-ups. He gave the crossbar a workout too. He's trying to dial in his range.
As we always say, it's better than the goalie's chest pad.
Agreed. Carter double team. Somebody's open. Gets it over to Rosebach. Rosebach in front. Big rip by Costa and bounces off a body.
Rosebach doing a good job backing up that deflected shot. Ian Long open on the close side here.
Ian Long fires one into the chest pad, just like you said, Coach. Nothing doing there. 4-1 Land Sharks, 1:52 to play.
He had a tough angle, little net to shoot at, and the goalie had it.
A lot of grass. Tic-tac-toe, break up. Shot wide. I don't know if Gavin got a piece of that or not. I couldn't tell.
Sounded like it hit something.
I don't know if it hit a person or Gavin or what. But anyway, there's going to be a turnover. We're coming back the other way. We've got end-to-end lacrosse here, and got to love it. There's an errant pass out to Rosebach.
And that's what we don't want, Tony. We don't want to have an opportunity and then turn it right back over like that.
So you've got number 9 there. That's Nathan Dale. Dale. So behind the net, CJ comes up with it, dishes off to Silas Gillum, the Trigger's brother, younger brother, into Peanut Seaton in midfield. The sun's starting to set.
That
Our
sun
eyes are getting better.
Right where we needed it to drop now.
AJ coming in, gets the touch. Backs out. Changing personnel coming up. Ian Long, looks like we're going to set up a last shot move here. And just like that, there's only 40 seconds left in the quarter.
Yeah, what a quick first quarter.
1 penalty each for both teams. 4-1 Land Sharks. The Trigger. Here comes Jackson Hyman jogging onto the field. Over to Magic. MJ.
So, not jinxing us here, Tony, but Oceanside's been doing a good job with these end-of-quarter shots.
We certainly have. Trigger's looking. Can't find it. Back to Brody Hollingsworth. Brody over to Carter Gregory. Carter took a look at it. Didn't like it. Gets the shot off and finds the twine. And the streak continues, Coach. Just like you said, on cue, 12 seconds left, 5-1 Oceanside.
Carter set that up beautifully, kind of wound up the shoot, got the defender to commit, took the step and a half around, had his hands free for that shot, got it around the goalie, 5-1 with, as you said, 12 ticks remaining.
So we'll face it off. Number 3, Brooks Wilkins on the dot for the Bulldogs. Our Centurion, Cole Bradford on the dot for Oceanside. 12 seconds left. Whistles in. Fight for the ball. Wilkins scoops. He's got Robo Reese on him. Kimker running from behind. 2 seconds. Thomas, the pickpocket's going to have it, launch it downfield, and change a quarter. Wow. Well, that quarter flew by.
Got a little nervous there, Tony. I wasn't sure where Kimker was going.
Yeah.
The ball's going downfield towards goal, and he's starting to turn back.
Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking there.
I think he thought he had a pole coming to help a little bit faster than maybe the pole was coming, but no harm, no foul.
All right, so we're going to clean up a couple of things. A spirited first quarter, 5-1 Oceanside over the Bulldogs from Boiling Springs. Let's give me a minute. We'll get some sponsors in here early. Angie Gregory,
parka.
The parka has made an appearance. It's a solid 60 degrees. I don't know that it's parka weather,
April
Angie.
10th, and the parka has
April 10th.
emerged.
You better be glad that camera is 30 feet to 20 feet in the air. We'd have it on you to show the crowd that how thin the South Carolina blood really is. Well, Florida blood for you, yes. So this is the Great White North for you. All right. Our sponsors, thank you to everyone that makes Oceanside Lacrosse possible. We appreciate our administration, Christina Brown, Mark Meyer, athletic director, Brooks Barano's out here with us, our assistant AD, training staff, Katie Niemeyer, Savannah Metz. Appreciate all of you. Our Great White sponsors, Benjamin Franklin Plumbing of Charleston. For all your residential and light commercial needs, call the pros at Benjamin Franklin Plumbing. Bowline Wealth Management, Coastal Millwork and Supply, Fast Trans Intermodal, Longshore Boats, not boat weather today.
No, chilly.
Not boat weather.
Water's cold, too.
Yeah, the Meredith's not happy with this in April. McDonald's, Saltwater Rides, SGKA Investments, the Charleston Design Center, Thomas Supply Company, Axis Endurance Coaching, Charleston Elite Lacrosse, Lolax Lacrosse, Matzo Deli, Jersey Mike's, and everyone that helps us feed the Sharks. Beacon Community Bank, Acme Low Country Kitchen, Playa Bowls, 3 locations, Somerville, downtown, and Mount Pleasant. James and Kristen Rosebach, the Hymans, the Longs, the Funkadelics, the Johnsons, the Craybills, the Hollingsworths, thank you for all you do, Gregory's and Harrison's, and all of our Oceanside families.
That just replays in your head at night, doesn't it?
It does. I can almost not have to look at it now. There's an outlet to AJ. He's got wheels turning. Gets it over to Carter Gregory. Carter to Broman. Broman looking for the top right corner and just missed. He's got his head back, and he wanted that one back.
Yeah, Brody knew he had to go wide there. The goalie had his near post covered and just missed.
So we'll reset. Players coming on. Titus the trigger. Jackson Heineman. Carter Gregory on the near side. Players have switched ends. We got a little better view of it. The sunset is going down. Due east, dead ahead. Carter Gregory looking for room. He's got his hands free. Put one in the dirt, and I think he hit MJ with it.
I was going to say, MJ making the save there almost.
Yeah, and there's one that's almost a tic-tac-toe. Brody to Carter. Couldn't quite get it. Brody takes a shot from behind. Jackson Hyman takes exception to that. Brody slow to get up. Good sportsmanship there by the long pole, number 17. Helping Brody to his feet. Brody's jogging it off. The Bulldogs are driving into the zone. There's a penalty there. Not sure what for. Could be on. So it's got to be on CJ.
I don't know. Nothing looked too offensive there.
I don't know if if maybe he had a hold of him. I don't know if he had the arm working or what. But we're gonna see the call or hear the call here in just a minute. So, 5-1 Oceanside. 10:46 left to play in the second quarter. The Fortress defense takes the field, which means somebody steps out, and AJ comes on with the full complement of Peanut, Robo Reese, Andy Jones, and Thomas the Pickpocket. So it gets whistled in. Behind the net, that's number 15. That's Drew Buckmeyer. This buck's for you. Pushes it out. Gavin Harrison intercepts a pass there. Dishes out to his buddy AJ. A little behind him. AJ looking for somewhere to go. Gets wheels turning. He's going to make a move there. Gets by 23. So Dylan Snyder had nothing for him. AJ wheels off with another successful clear. Carter Gregory over to the trigger. Jackson Hyman trotting on. Magic Zanone. He's got Jackson trailing him. MJ goes wide, tries to get around. Nothing doing there. Good coverage.
All is right now. Oceanside full strength. Still see 22 Hollingsworth out there. Looks like he's no harm, no foul with that crunch and hit he took down there.
Yeah, he took a little bit of a blow there out in front. Tried to get the dish to Carter. Carter runs down his own bobble there. Finally gets it in his cross. Pushes it over to MJ.
Tony, that's something we've seen a lot of this year. The bobble or the drop or something, our guys are cleaning it up. You know, they're not hanging their head and just letting the other team take it. Good to see this year with this Oceanside team. No break for them.
Great observation. A lot of off-ball movement here. Carter looking for somewhere to go with it. Jackson Hyman, he had it backed out, didn't like it. Trigger looks at it, didn't like his. Now he's got open field, and he gets the twine to Trigger. Attaboy.
Oceanside got a little lucky there. Jackson Hyman definitely could have got a moving pick call, but
yeah, he didn't quite come to a stop.
Nah, the Zebras didn't see it, so neither did we.
No, they'll pick it up on the huddle cam, maybe. So that's going to be 6-1 over the Bulldogs. Land Sharks in the lead here with 9 to play, 9:10 to go in the half. Just a beautiful night here. Very little wind, probably 65-ish, you'd say.
Let's see what the watch says.
What does Siri say it is? The clamp, having trouble corralling it.
67, so your 3-degree guarantee hit.
There you go.
You had it.
And there is number 5 in serious trouble, Jaden Kosick. He gets away from it, and there's a great back check by Peanut Seaton, none other than he undresses the long pole trying to get a pole goal. There's a big shot by 16, wide right. It's going to remain Bulldogs' ball. And that's going to be number 4 over in the corner here. Dishes it behind. Athletic play by 15 there. Drew Buckmeyer. I just like saying that name, Buckmeyer.
Bulldogs moving the ball aggressively there and just a little too much under that one.
Yeah, he put a heater over there and ends up in the bench. Inbound to AJ. AJ runs the field, takes the half line uncontested, gets a poke check, uncharacteristically loses the ball. You need that, son. Hang on to it. And we've got a timeout, which was probably well placed. We've got 8 minutes to go in the half. You can't take them with you.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you don't store them for future use. So like that timeout, the momentum felt like it was trying to shift there. Why not cut it off, get the boys to the side, and have a little conversation? See if anyone's chatting us today on the comment board. Nothing. It's
Nothing
quiet.
on the comment board. Quiet. Let's go. We want to hear some comments. If you like what you're hearing, drop us a line.
Cole DeClamp's dad's back in country, so we don't get his typical comments.
No report from the Philippines, so Bradford is back in town. So a little bit of a caucus over there with the referees, catching up on the half's events here. The gnats are out. Bugs are in full strength. We are coated in bug spray, and we have a vapor shield of incense burning. You'd think this was an ashram, was how much incense are burning around us, but the gnats don't seem to care.
Never enough for these gnats.
No, this is South Carolina life. Welcome to the Low Country, folks. So here comes Liam Rosebach with the inbound from the half line, pushes it over to Finn Wagner. Ian Long, Caden Costa up top, turns with it. Back over to Carter Gregory. He's looking for the pick, gets it. Couldn't free up. Ian had all sorts of trouble, and he snipes the bottom right corner. And that is the freshman's seventh hat trick of the year. 7th hat trick for freshman Ian Long. Congratulations, young man. You just continue to chip away at the record books here at Oceanside Collegiate Academy. And that is our first hat trick of the night, and he will be the first to chase the sombrero.
The sombrero
Is what we call when you get a double hat trick. We've had a couple this year. Clamp on the dot. Robo Reese near side. Kimker far side. A lot of bodies out in front. 16 is a big boy, that Queens commit.
Husky, right?
Husky. He's got the right name. He is Husky.
I mean, boy's got some calves
There's
on
a
him.
whip check from Silas Gillum. Nothing doing. 30 with the ball. Dawson Martini. Over to Husky. Over to 23 is Dylan Snyder. Snyder puts a shoulder into Kimker. Kimker over to Martini. Martini working with it. He makes a stop. Puts his foot in the ground, gets it back over to Snyder. Snyder behind the net. Outlets it to 5 is Kosick. Kosick rolls behind the net. Covered by CJ. Wants to turn him. Can't. Double coverage. Back out top to Husky. Husky inside. And that's Drew Buckmeyer. Buckmeyer gets the goal past Harrison. He was standing alone on some sort of defensive breakdown. He was standing alone on the crease, one-on-one with your boy. And, what are you going to do?
Yeah, it looked like one of our defensemen kind of rotated forward and somebody didn't rotate and fill the void.
So that's
and
7
they found
it. Yeah, 7-2. Oceanside over the Bulldogs. The Bulldog faithful, they travel well. The Bulldog faithful has come down from the upstate in search of warmer weather. They're not getting it. There's a bobble there. Robo Reese can't corral it. There's a fight for the ball. Scrappy move by Brooks Wilkins. Brooks Wilkins with a scrappy move and a timeout by Coach Mills.
Nice timeout.
Sensing that his guys were in a little bit of distress there. So they pull it down. We'll take the opportunity to go through our second half, or our second quarter sponsor list. Benjamin Franklin Plumbing of Charleston, for all of your plumbing needs, call the pros. You deserve the best at Benjamin Franklin Plumbing of Charleston. Bowline Wealth Management, Coastal Millwork and Supply, Fast Trans Intermodal, Longshore Boats, McDonald's, Saltwater Rides, SGKA Investments, the Charleston Design Center, Thomas Supply, Axis Endurance Coaching, Charleston Elite Lacrosse, Lolax Lacrosse, Mazzo Deli, Jersey Mike's. We'll throw my man Don Migliori in there for feeding the boys, and he is our Migliori's in Mount Pleasant, is our after-game haunt for pizza and Italian dishes. Beacon Community Bank, Acme Low Country Kitchen, Playa Bowls, the Rose Box, Hyman's, Funk's, Johnson's, Craybills, Hollingsworth's, Gregory's, and Harrison's, and everyone that helps make Oceanside lacrosse possible. So here comes Husky. He's got Robo Reese on him. The defense is in full strength here. CJ behind the net. Chases his man out to the alley. Up to Husky.
Boiling Springs trying to build some momentum here.
That's number 30. That wasn't Husky. Sorry.
That's Martini.
That was Martini. So Martini staring at a face full of AJ. Makes a shake. Gets past AJ. Little bobble inside. Land Sharks caught a break there. A little sloppy defensive breakdown. Pushes it over to Martini. Martini takes a swing wide right. So something broke down there.
Yeah, our defense just seems a notch off tonight.
A little flat-footed, I'd say. Just a little flat. There's a big roller wide right. Gavin had the bottom of the net covered, and he was making that slide from left to right in the goal crease. And the defense seems a little bit rattled. Like you said, they're uncharacteristically a little off-kilter. Sawyer Arnold out for his second shift, no penalties. Peanut Seaton looking for the can opener. He's poking. And he tries to make a shish kebab out of Martini. Martini keeps retreating. And there is no rest for the weary there. Now he can't find it. Thomas the pickpocket naturally comes up with it because the ball finds him.
Peanut's trying to be the toothpick in the olive in that Martini.
Here comes A.J. Zarzaka. A.J. feeds it over to Ian. Ian to Brody. Brody tried something, couldn't get it off. Ian Long comes back with it. And here comes Jackson Hyman. And everybody's going to take a breath that we withstood that onslaught. That was the most business we've seen around our net tonight.
Yeah, I think it'll do Oceanside well here to establish some possession, give the defense a little bit of a break after that series.
5 minutes to go in a half that's flying by. Trigger over to Jackson Hyman. Jackson looking for his first big rip of the game. If he gets free, we know what he can do. He took a look at it, didn't like it. He took a shoulder, back, skip pass over to the Trigger. Trigger to Carter Gregory. Carter moving from left to right, puts his right foot in the ground, moves left, pushes it back behind to the Broman. Broman looking for the reverse shot, hits the cage, gets another shot off after his own rebound. Carter Gregory scoops it up, and it's fast-paced offense for the Land Sharks.
Yeah, the senior goalie, Lamb, doing a nice job in there tonight, taking quite a bit of fire so far here in the first half.
Trigger makes a step, gets a nice pick from Brody. Brody takes the shoulder in stride. Trigger dancing with it, trying to get loose. He's got big number 17. That's also a Newberry commit. Campbell Johnson. Kind of a half rip from the Trigger. Couldn't get everything on it, I think. They got into his hands, just that he never got to follow through on the shot. Nonetheless, Carter has it backed up. Carter brings it in. Being harassed. The defense is getting more aggressive for the Bulldogs.
You just took the words out of my mouth, Tony. I was going to say this is an aggressive brand of defense we're seeing here.
And that's good. The Land Sharks are going to need that. I mean, this is a scrappy team. Their coach used the word fun. There's Jackson Hyman. I thought he had it cocked, and he didn't do it. And Jackson does the dance. He gets inside and puts it in the back of the net.
I don't know if he thought he was at his ballet class there or what.
Off
little
his
plie at the top.
Yeah, I don't know what that means because I don't speak French, but I'll tell you what, that was a good move, whatever you call it. He was up on his tiptoes.
We'll take more of it. It's effective, and it looked kind of pretty.
It did. It did. That's going to look good. Normally they go looking for Josiah. I don't see Josiah at this game, so there'll be no Instagram post with that on it.
We'll call him Tutu Jackson from now on.
Yeah. Well, there is a Jackson, the king of pop. He was a pretty good dancer. Carter Gregory brings it in, and the Bulldogs are back on their heels again.
Oceanside doing a good job stemming the momentum that the Bulldogs were trying to build there in the remaining part of the second quarter. 3 minutes left here.
All right, Caden Costa checks in. So we've got that second offense out there. Caden, Liam, and Finn. So we got two natural lefties on the field, two non-rights. Caden Costa, the kamikaze. Liam, he gets a pick from Caden. Defender runs around, pushes it out to Brody. Brody gets a nice little dink. Brody gets the tip pass, and Brody doing the gritty work. He gets the tip pass to Finn Wagner, the natural lefty, and he just dunks it in there.
Brody just had to know that hit was coming, and I don't want to say he stood there. He was in midair and took that hit to make that assist for the goal. So that's a hat trick of assist for Brody there. Nice job on him doing what he does, and he's a disher.
So Brody doing his best. John Stockton just kind of dishes it off wherever he needs to. 9-2, Land Sharks. 2:41 to play in the half. The clamp. He's ball's up in the air. Nobody knows where it is. Kempker says, I know where it is, but he still can't grab it. The ball's still bouncing around, and there's Husky comes out of it with it, and he rolls around. He's looking for space, but Robo Reese is on him tighter than two coats of paint. And the skewer is just jabbing at the ball. He offloads it to Brandon Hassan. Getting
our first dose of Logan Finley on defense tonight. Good to see Logan out there taking some reps.
The Finn. .23 pushes it over. Big rip in the back of the twine. I don't think Gavin saw it. I didn't see who got the goal.
I think it was number 15, if I'm not mistaken, Drew Buckmeyer.
Buckmeyer, that would be his second of the game.
Again, looked like a little bit of a miscue on our defense. Buckmeyer very, very free and open over there as he took that shot, and that's normally not the case when you're shooting against this defense.
No, and there was a lot of bodies in front of the net, and I'm not making excuses for Gavin, but, it's a strange time of day where the shadows are a little funny. I think between the white jerseys standing in front of him and the lighting, well, he may have lost it.
His reaction was a little odd to that, too. I'm not sure that he saw it.
All right, there's a huge hit on the clamp from behind, so we're going to have a free play here as Cole the clamp just got leveled from behind, so it was a good call. A.J. Zarzak, a big rip, wide left. So we're going to go man up. My son's jogging off for no particular reason because he's on the man up offense.
Yeah,
he has now been reminded.
They were trying to save him the trip.
Yeah, they count his steps because he does a lot of running. He's on a step count. Make sure he makes it the whole way through the game. So the man up offense is on the field, which has been wildly successful this year. Jackson Hyman strolling toward the ball, no particular hurry. There's the whistle, 1:30 to play. AJ over to Carter, Carter to the trigger. Here's the first rotation. Ian, Jackson, AJ, rotation inside Carter, Gregory, low to high, couldn't get it, missed it high. It was a good play. I don't think anybody saw that coming. They weren't looking for Carter inside.
Ian Long just getting that back up.
AJ at the top. Jackson Hyman. Carter Gregory, another rip low to high off two bodies. I think it went off J.J. Maldonado. I like that name. J.J.
JJs are always good athletes, right? All right, we're going back to full strength here.
Magic, he puts one on.
I don't know how Magic got that shot off.
Well, he has the ability to contort himself in very strange ways. Carter Gregory.
I mean, that's the second save Zanone's made for Boiling Springs tonight.
Yep, so now we're in transition. The trigger. Here comes number 5, Hayden. And I only know that because I heard a parent yell Hayden. And it's spelled with a J. So
all right.
I think I got that right. So, ladies and gentlemen in the audience, if you like what you're hearing, go ahead and subscribe to our page, like the page, send us some comments, your thoughts on the game. We've got a pretty spirited matchup here. I mean, it's a 6-goal lead, but as our buddy Jack Kelly would say, it's a game of streaks, eh?
Hey, bud.
Hey, bud. It's a game of streaks. So I sent Jack the link. Jack, if you're listening, check in with us.
I think this Oceanside defense will chat it up with each other at halftime, just clean some things up. We're just not used to seeing. We always talk about how it's almost like they're telekinetic with each other, like they know what the other guy's doing.
Right.
Tonight it just looks like there's a little bit of a burr in the cog or something. But
you think that, and I hope this isn't the case, and I'm sure Coach Harris and Coach Wright, Coach Seaton have done a yeoman's job keeping this team focused over a now 8-9 game winning streak. I think we're 8 or 9 straight. And keeping them focused against all sorts of competition. They've just been the same product on the field. Consistency has been the mantra day in and day out. And, coaches got that trouble. I hope these guys aren't looking past this Bulldog team to IMG rolling in here tomorrow.
If they are, they're going to get that fixed here at halftime.
I would think so.
Because this Bulldog team is not going to lay down in the second half. Just by the looks of what we've seen here and what we're seeing now with this last 23 seconds.
Yep, and there is Sawyer Arnold. Clean shot, no call there. And good coverage by Sawyer. Great feet, big crowd in front. And there's the goal, 8 seconds left. Exactly what we didn't want to happen. And Gavin Harrison is hot. He did not like that at all. And he's got some words for the defenders in front of him. And him and Peanut are trying to work it out. And this is the first time we've seen this defense rattled in probably 10 games.
Yeah, there's a little more of that breakdown that we were just talking about a minute ago, Tony. That shooter was completely unguarded, bearing down on goal.
I think we say this about every team, but this team coming in here was smelling upset, and they wanted to be the ones. We just got the #1 ranking on Max Preps for the state of South Carolina at every level. We are the number one team, and we're not playing like it. And I think that they're going to have to work on that a little bit at the half. There's a procedure call, and another possession with 6 seconds to go, and you have got number 3 Brooks Wilkins. He pushes it over, little bobble there. So, it's as concerned as you can be with a 5-goal lead. Very, very strange of this Oceanside team. Like I said, we're up 5 goals, and it just something just doesn't seem quite right. You would assume they'll get that fixed, but nonetheless, it is 9-4, Oceanside Land Sharks at the half. And we're going to take a little break, and we're going to clear the bugs out of our throat because we've been taking turns.
I had 2
eating them
already. It's the crazy, right into the back of my throat. It's insane.
Do you think they would be offended if we put a mosquito net over our rig here?
We should.
Yeah. So it's only going to get worse. That's the bad news. As the weather gets warmer and we move further into the spring here, the playoffs are going to get a little hot and steamy, and the bugs will be out. So we are going to take a breath. About 9 minutes to go the half. We'll be back with about a minute to go, so we'll see you in about 8 minutes, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Feel free to like our page and drop us a comment. We'll see you in a little bit. And we are back live from the Reef at Oceanside Collegiate Academy in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. The sun has set and given way to the field lights here at the Reef. Gleaming white jerseys are out there for the Land Sharks. In the grays, we have the Bulldogs of Boiling Springs. And the Clamp comes out 50-50 in the first half. He comes out, wins the first draw the second half, gets up top to A.J. Zarzaka. A.J. pushes it around. Ian Long comes around. A.J. takes a long pole right to the face in his pick, and I think his pick done popped. He makes his way off the field in favor of the offense. Job done. On the field comes Titus the Trigger, Carter Gregory, Jackson Heineman. Pushes it out, an errant pass. Jackson corrals it, pushes it back over to the Trigger, who's strangely uncovered. He finds his shot, and he drills it from the top of the box.
Good to see the Trigger shooting.
And the Land Sharks come out firing, and the Trigger tallies.
So there again, a broken play leads to a miscue on the defense. Trigger took about 7 steps before anybody came up to him and
cannot leave him uncovered.
Lets her rip.
And just a laser beam, center of the net. Goaltender likely never saw it. So that's going to be the Land Sharks up 10-4, trying to correct what was going on. The Clamp's 2 for 2 in the second half. There's a slash that's going to get called, and the Clamp goes for a goal, knowing that it was a free play.
Yeah, Clamp took one in the hat there.
That ball jumps the blocking sled of the football team over and into the woods. Another one bites the dust. So the penalty is going to be for a tomahawk.
Probably a lot of rubber back in there.
I would guess so. So number 28, that's Jace Sheholtz. Another cool name. Sheholtz.
I think it's just C.
Seaholtz.
You're dropping an H in there.
Oh, yeah, so Seaholtz. Seaholtz is going to take a Nieholtz over in the box. And we're going to get the man-up offense on the field. A.J., Jackson, around to Ian, Trigger, looking inside, doesn't like it. A.J. up top, pushes it over to Jackson Heineman, about 6 inches high of the crossbar. Jackson looking to dial in his range of that cannon that he has.
Nice rip there. Oceanside got a little ahead of the defense. Jackson tried to let her go.
A.J., Jackson, Carter winds it around. Carter Gregory fires one off a person. That person's going to be sore. You do not want to take a Carter Gregory swing. Goaltender's got it. Goaltender's running.
I think we're going to have a turnover there.
Certainly looks that way.
Oceanside doing a good job forcing Land, the goalie, out of bounds.
Referees counting it out.
And it looks like they're going to give Boiling Springs the timeout instead. So it'll be Boiling Springs ball.
It was a strange sequence there.
And I think the Boiling Springs bench was arguing that they called for the timeout before the out of bounds was whistled. 10-20 in a very young third quarter.
Angie, our camera woman here, is monitoring the Palmetto Brawl. That is it at Carolina or is it? So the Clemson is at Carolina tonight in lacrosse action at the collegiate level. And it's also 10-4 Carolina. I wonder how that worked out.
We are in parallel universes.
Simpatico. So the boys are going to take their timeout here, an early timeout by the Bulldogs to preserve the possession because things were going a little strange for them.
I'd like to see an aggressive ride out of Oceanside here, try to maintain this momentum. Really want to start to pile the points on here and get this game put away before it turns on us like it started to turn at the end of that first half.
So we've got, who is number 7 over here? That is J.J. Maldonado. That is a mountain of a young man.
He's
right
broad.
in front of us. He is broad and thick and appears to be very strong. Land Sharks coming on the ride. The ball's bouncing around the goaltender. He doesn't know where it's at. And Peanut thinking pole goal. He gets rejected, and he comes back, and somehow Husky gets in there to save it, throws it out of bounds.
I mean, I'm going to hit replay. I can't actually because we're going to whistle back to game. What a play by Husky
they're going to
there.
stop it here.
Yeah, I think the issue.
What a wild sequence. So the players tried to push it to the goaltender. Goaltender didn't see the ball. Ball's laying at the feet of the goaltender. Peanut sweeps it up, goes for the pole goal. Good defender gets a stick in front of it.
So I think you're having a turnover here because rules have changed a little bit. A field player can't go in and essentially play goalie, and that's what happened there. The field player stopped the ball inside the crease.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why the coach is my partner. I would have never known that. It just looked like good effort to me.
It's a safety factor. I believe back in the day, and I'm not certain, but you used to see more of that. But anymore with the focus on keeping guys safe and the issue with hits to the chest and the fact that the field players don't have the same chest padding that the goalies have, they've now frowned upon that.
That is outstanding analysis, Coach. Over to A.J. Zarzaka up top. We're back live lacrosse. Oceanside spinning it around. There's Carter Gregory's got it. One bouncer wide left of the net. He was just a little off the mark there. He pulled it just a little bit.
A little overturn maybe on his shot.
Magic Zanone got it backed up. Who are we missing out there? Oh!
Well, we don't have Brody out there right now.
Trigger pulls the trigger, and he goes wide and high and wide to the left. Oh, AJ's out there. Jackson Hyman with a bullet, stopped by the goalie.
And I'll tell you, Lamb making some key stops tonight, even with this 10-4 game.
Jackson Hyman gets bodied. You don't hear that very often. 21, Hayden Hall. He put all the Hall into Hyman.
Ian almost looking for a drop pass there, right next to the goalie. Oceanside marked up tight on this ride.
Oceanside is playing with the lineup a little bit, looking for some success. There's Husky's got the ball. He takes a whip check from Silas Gillum. AJ closing in on number 10. That's Toy Ewing. Ewing goes wide, backed up by Kosick. Kosick's got a face full of Reese Meredith. Robo Reese passes off. Thomas, the pickpocket, giving heavy fire. He's going to get called for a slash. It appears, feeds it inside. Ball's bouncing around. There's the whistle. And Thomas is going to go take a knee in the sin bin.
And that's not a penalty Thomas takes often.
No, it is not. Thomas is a technician as well as a pickpocket. And, you know, doesn't spend much time in the box. Sawyer Arnold just said, kneel here. As he is all too familiar with that area of
when Sawyer graduates,
field.
We'll have to put a brick over there in his honor.
We will. I think it will be. We'll name it, and he'll have naming rights to that space. Peanut giving the can opener to Buckmeyer. Buckmeyer says, let me get rid of this thing. This guy's not right. Pushes it over. Husky's got the ball up top. Robo Reese on him, hands him off. They're moving the ball well.
Nice body
Andy
work.
Jones. Great body work. And there is a collapse inside, and Buckmeyer gets in. And I think that's a hat trick for Buckmeyer. I think he's got 3 of the 5.
I believe it is. I've heard the Buckmeyer name what sounds like 3 times tonight. Congrats to him.
Yeah, we do not require Marina to keep stats for the other team, so I'm going to assume I'm right, which is, you know, a bold assumption, but I think I got it, that is Buckmeyer's hat trick.
And Buckmeyer is getting those goals that you've got to work real hard for.
Gritty.
Yes.
Really gritty.
Very gritty, dirty goals.
Very gritty, dirty. So it's a 5-goal game, and this Bulldogs team is not going to let, after they took a little lump last night at Lucy Beckham, there's some gritty play by the clamp. He pulls it in. He's looking for it. Brody double deuce Hollingsworth is back on the field behind the net after taking a shift off.
I will say, Tony, maybe you correct me if you think I'm wrong. I don't feel like speed has been our friend tonight on this field. I feel like we've been doing better with a more controlled offense. Good to see Oceanside kind of slowing things down here a little bit. Just gather themselves, get back to their game plan.
Yeah, I think this gritty defense, and that's the word I would use. I'm abusing that term tonight and apologize for it, but it's applicable. This defense is aggressive. They're risky. And there's a big drive, and Jackson Hyman
That's his second on the night.
lights the lamp for the second time, 11-5. And as you said, they slowed it down. They tossed it around. They thought about it a little bit. You find Jackson wide open, and that is not a good thing for the opposing team when Jackson Hyman is left uncovered.
I will say, Tony, with Oceanside's ball movement tonight, I feel like as we move the ball around, we are finding an open man. We are finding a guy with his hands free, and that's why I think we've been more effective on that more established play tonight.
Well, it's in some sense, it's really good to see the challenge that the Bulldogs are putting up here. And again, even though it's a 6-goal game, 6 goals is not a substantial lead in lacrosse. And there's Peanuts eating from the top of the restraining box. And some people say why, and we say because he can.
Some coaches will probably shake their head at that. We just have to take it in and enjoy it and love it.
Wow. Peanut Seaton gets on the board. It's actually been strange that it's midway through the third period
right.
and we haven't seen a Peanut pole goal.
Earlier in the game, he tried to work himself into the established offense, so we knew he was going to be shooting here at some point, but we had to wait till halfway through the third here.
So just a momentum killer. The clamp can't find it. It's scooped up by Wilkins. Wilkins drives to the net. He finds over the side a tough angle by Kosick. Kosick, an impossible angle.
I don't know how Kosick had anything to shoot at there. He looked like he was standing next to that post.
He saw something he liked. He did it with conviction.
He did. And Oceanside dodging a bullet there.
So the Land Sharks, who've been off for a little while here. Maybe that's a little bit. We're knocking some rust off. We haven't played in a few days.
Well, we got to put that excuse to bed because we have a whole week off before playoffs start.
I couldn't agree more.
And I saw that on the schedule and was a little nervous about that. I know guys like to rest and heal, but
there's Carter Gregory, goes darting inside, draws the double team. Jackson Hyman with a big windup and gets it again for the hat trick. Jackson Jackpot Hyman gets in for his hat trick. So we've got Jackson and Ian both with a hat trick tonight, and we've got Titus and Brody with doubling down.
Tony, we've said it a few times this season. Hyman's goals come in bunches.
They do.
When he starts finding that net, watch out.
Yeah, and he just needs enough. If you study him the way we have, because we analyze every aspect of the game in real time, when you study him, he has a tolerance for how much room he needs to feel it. But if he feels it, pretty good chance it's going in. And there is here comes Peanut Seaton looking for a second pole goal. Breaking off the wing. He takes the feed from AJ, and he puts it. I mean, there wasn't an inch of daylight between the goalie's foot and the pole, and Peanut was aiming for it.
Just unbelievable.
At the end of a 6-foot catapult. The accuracy that he can throw with that thing is really impressive.
The kid is an athlete.
So Brody being peppered behind the net by 17. That's Campbell Johnson. He's a Newberry commit, too. So they have two Newberry commits that are headed to be Wolves next year.
Yeah, the Wolves are just down the street from the Spartanburg area where these guys are all from.
Carter! The Titus, the Trigger. So the Trigger gets his hat trick, and all of a sudden it's a jailbreak for the Land Sharks with 4 unanswered goals to start the half.
And if you're Tom Harris and the rest of the coaching staff, this is exactly what you were looking for. You needed to stop that momentum that they ended that first half with. And I think a message has been sent here, seeing a little bit of different body language now out of this Bulldog team, some hands on hips.
Agreed. I think that I would love to get, and maybe we can, I don't know that Friday would be the day, but maybe we can get Tom Harris mic'd up at some time. I'd love to hear what he's saying to the kids, although I don't think we can put that on TV, at least under the school's brand. So 15 drives in. Gavin does a good job chasing it down. Buckmeyer fires it wide. Out to A.J. His safety blanket pushes it to Peanut, and oh boy. Peanut over to Brody, and Brody just missed it. Looking for his hat trick. They dish it off to the goaltender. He's looking for an out.
Brody just had to move a little too much to process that pass.
The goaltender throws it away. Andy Jones. Somebody's got to pick up the ball. Oh, Andy's got a ball. Assistant athletic director Brooks Barano put it in. So we've got. Oh, and there's going to be some hat music.
Hope CJ's okay. That was.
CJ took some lumber.
Pretty good
from
shot.
CJ from JJ.
He doesn't look too worse for the wear.
Nah, he's all right.
I don't think anything was intentional about that. Just an oops.
You know what I saw last night as our girls game? I was at the girls game last night, which we want to celebrate. My daughter Liliana Zarzaka got to play offense last night, and she scored her first goal as an Oceanside Land Shark and her first goal as a lacrosse player ever.
That's an exciting
in an
milestone.
Absolute drubbing of Waccamaw. The girls, I think it was 19 or 20 they hung on them, and I think every girl. Sadie Bell scored last night. Okay, our goalie scored.
Nice.
Okay, so
that's not easy in girls lacrosse.
No, everybody took. Well, she was playing attack.
Oh, well, that would explain it.
Yeah, they put Avery in goal, and Sadie Bell was playing attack. So Sadie Bell and Lily scored among a host of other Lady Land Sharks. And where I was going with that, I saw something interesting last night. The entire Waccamaw team had helmets on. That's a thing in girls lacrosse now, I understand.
State of Florida, all girl high school players have to wear helmets. I think it's something that other states are going to be looking at. It's one of those things, you have people on both sides of the issues, basically like everything in life.
Right.
And, obviously that coach feels strongly about that.
Jackson Hyman airmails one, and as we're chatting, the boys are out there in the man-up machine. So we have the Fortress for man-down defense. The man-up machine for our man-up offense was spinning the ball all over town. And finally Jackson got a hold of one and airmailed it. Ian can't turn on that as the defense collapses on him. Number 21, Hayden Hall, big boy. So we are rethinking what's going on. They managed to kill off the penalty. AJ will step out. Broman, double deuce Hollingsworth will come back in.
Presuming Brody will go to his office.
He shall. He may make a pit stop there. Looks like he's going to say hi to the goaltender. Now he'll go back behind the net as Carter Gregory pushes it out. The trigger is wide open. You cannot leave the trigger that wide open, ladies and gentlemen. And that is a quad for 7-7.
That's like leaving a open honey pot for the bear.
You just can't.
Can't do it.
You just can't. And you can want to try it, but please don't do it. And the trigger makes him pay. And I enjoy that because we have the best view.
When he's shooting down in this end, it's great. You feel like you're inside his helmet. So and what a pass there by Brody, seeing him.
Brody sees everything. Brody's got eyes on all sides of his head. So what was a very tight game at the half is now a 15-5, 10-goal deficit that the Bulldogs find themselves in, and they are reeling as the field is tilted. And the Oceanside team, and here comes Peanut Seaton. He's thinking one thing, and he's thinking, let me pass it to Brody.
And I'll say, Tony, I think a lot of this comes down to one thing, possession. We're possessing the ball much better in this third quarter, and you see the difference that's made on the scoreboard. AJ's
going to let that heady play between AJ and Andy Jones, where they just blocked off the men and let it roll out of bounds, make sure we secure the possession. AJ will trot to the bench area, as will Peanut Seaton. Finn Wagner is in the game. Zanone, Broman, Ian, Liam Rosebach, and here comes the final piece of the puzzle, the kamikaze, Caden Costa. So, Caden looking, moving, pushes it in front to Liam. Liam drops it. It was a pretty decent shot, but the goaltender was right there.
Yeah, Lamb.
And it was a blind shot for Liam, so he didn't know he was standing there.
He was kind of turning, firing low, and goalie read that. Nice low save by Lamb.
There's a good out, which is what the Bulldogs need right now. Silas Gillum just giving him a hard way to go. No call on that. It was a pretty good shove. The outlet, number 30, Dawson Martini. Back to Martini. Martini makes a move around. Behind the net, that's Caden Quantra. Pushes it back out to Husky. Husky's got a peanut seat and draped on him like a suit. He's finding a way out. He gets low, spins out of it, pushes it over back to Kosick. Ball's dribbling around, and here we go with the out.
Great back check there by C.J. Johnson on defense, kind of forced that shot off.
And this is the Oceanside team we like. Good move there by C.J. C.J. ducks under a whip check, and you can just see that like the attack is not chasing down the balls. This Bulldog team appears to be getting a little fatigued, chasing after the Land Sharks here after some very, very spirited play in the first half. We'll change players. Everybody's on sides. Everybody's taking a breath.
I mean,
Ian,
the first half had some pace to it.
It did.
I can understand some tired bodies out there right now.
Yeah, and the Bulldogs, as Coach Tanner Mills told us, that he was very impressed with our team and extremely complimentary, and he knew they were in for a pretty good fight, and they have a shorter bench. And there's Carter Gregory at 20 seconds left to play, and that is Carter doubling down for his second of the night. Thank you, Marina. Stats are coming in real time.
She just shouts at us now before we have a chance to mess it up.
She's shouting at you, dude. I don't know. She's very politely telling me the facts. It is 16-5.
Oh, I hit the minus sign.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, everyone at home. Surprised I didn't get a comment saying scores wrong.
Yeah, I'll tell you, nobody's got anything to say tonight.
Very
that's
quiet
odd.
night tonight.
Either
maybe
that or our ratings have plummeted.
Maybe that's why the juju's off.
We need our audience, folks. 10 seconds left. Somebody just shouted, so I know without looking at the scoreboard. Appreciate that. And there is someone getting mauled, and there is a long shot that Gavin is well wide of the net. And that is going to be your third quarter, ladies and gentlemen. Just an onslaught by the Land Sharks. An absolute onslaught by the Land Sharks.
The Sharks had the third quarter they needed to have there.
They certainly did. So whatever cobwebs were in the heads of our Sharks, they have vacated. The Boiling Springs faithful here lining the fence at the Reef on an absolutely beautiful night. It's sweatshirt weather unless you're Angie. It is.
We got a puffer vest in the crowd. A few blankets.
We do. We're just there's
only one parka.
Emily Costa is tucked in. And
Dana Bradford's not with us tonight.
Right. And
she'd be our fellow parka wearer.
Yeah. So it is traditional spring in the Low Country here with bipolar weather. It's warm one day, a little cooler the next, but a wonderful night here nonetheless.
We just got a comment from my dear daughter, Delaney. Let's go, Land Sharks. Thank you, Delaney, for giving me something to do here.
Thank you, Delaney. That's great. Glad you're watching. Yeah, there's a bunch of Newberry people.
I'm sure she probably met them when they were there on visits.
Angie, do we have a score for the Carolina-Clemson matchup? 16-4. So as we go, so does the Gamecocks.
How about that?
So Gamecock Nation is, look, it doesn't matter. They could be playing croquet, and if it's Carolina and Clemson, it's a war. So we have a number of our boys that are going to head that way. My son, A.J. Zarzaka, is headed to play for the Gamecocks alongside Drew Gregory and a host of other folks. And then Carter Cash Money is headed to Clemson. So we've got live lacrosse back on. The Clamp dishes it off to Kempker. He does a lot of running around. Doesn't really go anywhere. All to hand it off to MJ Zanone.
Well, he got the ever-elusive touch, which is what we needed.
Well, MJ's got a stat nobody else has tonight. There's plenty of goals, but he's the only guy that has 2 saves for the Bulldogs, as he put his body in front of 2 shots that were headed in from Carter.
I have a feeling he's going to have a definite welt from that one.
Yeah, there's a good possibility. So Trigger's dancing around. Back offhanded pass there. Carter Gregory moves in, takes his move to the right, gets a big rip. Goaltender sees it the whole way. Carter was looking for the top side of the net. There's an errant pass, goes off the heel of a Bulldog. Back over. There's a pretty good check, but he manages to corral it, gets in for the touch. Takes some wood from Jackson Hyman. Carter Gregory puts his body into it. So Carter's making checks, and he's getting penalties tonight.
Like seeing Carter on the defensive side.
Yeah, angry Carter's a whole different guy. So we're back. The Bulldogs are looking, we talk about it all the time. When you're in this kind of hole, and we've been there, we know what it's like. You're just looking for a goal, just one at a time. And it looks like what the Bulldogs are doing. The offense is moving the ball. They do move the ball well.
They do. They do a lot to kind of get the defense trying to go both ways, and then they get them caught.
There was a shovel pass inside and kind of a dirty roller toward Gavin. Gavin's got himself collected. He was a little rattled at the half. We haven't seen Gavin get uptight, and there's 2 land sharks, the pickpocket and Robo Reese, that just can't seem to figure out what to do with one another. So they're going to dance, and they go around the maypole twice, and now there's going to be an outlet across field to C.J. Johnson under the light post. And why are we in no particular hurry? And Gavin airmails it downfield, actually puts it on net right at the goaltender's feet. MJ Zanone hustles it out, but it is going to be not good enough.
Not going to call that a shot, or MJ just didn't get there?
I couldn't tell, but there's a bobble on the outlet to 16, the Queens commit. Or no, it's 18, sorry. 18, Mike Lavner. Lavner dishes it off. Back over, another errant pass, so the passing accuracy is... But the ride is a little intense here. Andy Jones sprinting for the half line, outlets it to Silas Gillum. Silas trying to find some time and space. He throws it at a Bulldog. That's number 7, J.J. Maldonado, the big boy.
It's getting ugly on this field right now.
This is, if you've ever seen ugly lacrosse, this is like an impressionist painting. This is, the ball just can't seem to find its way where it needs to go. There's a MJ with a up top, I don't know what you call that, but he got the failure to advance, and MJ's pretty fired up about that. And I don't know how he did that without hitting a helmet, but he did it. And
the Boiling Springs faithful doesn't think so.
The Boiling Springs faithful not happy about it. I heard some expletives. Let's keep it PG.
We're going to get kicked off the air.
But they absolutely did not like that call. But MJ was able to contort his body up and in like he was spearfishing.
That was some control.
Yeah. I don't think he knows how he does it either. It just sort of happens. Liam Rosebach at the top, over to Kamikaze Costa.
I think it's those Dr. Seuss Grinch cleats.
It may be the Grinch cleats. I like that logic, Coach. Costa's got the look in his eye. He dishes it off at the last minute, and he goes to Finn Wagner. So it was a fake kamikaze move to dish to Finn Wagner for our 17th goal, and that is going to be the 12-goal deficit that triggers the running clock.
Beautiful setup for his boy to lefty Finn Wagner in front. Nice job by Costa drawing guys to him with that downhill run.
And we are going to have Finley over here on the wing as the freshman brigade starts coming in. So looks like the all-freshman front line, Kimker, Finley. And what an effort by the clamp to outlet the ball after he wins the faceoff. And I'll tell you, Coach, you said it, so I'm not claiming credit for it, but he's the difference, one of the big differences in this half. The possessions, Marina's going to tell me what the faceoff ratio is for the second half momentarily. and the look of surprise on her face when I said that. So maybe I'm not getting that stat, but it feels like.
Let's put it this way: he was 50% in the first. He's better than 50 right now. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. So she's got it about 17-9, and he was about 50% in the first half.
Yeah.
So
there's your difference.
So when we have that many possessions, the Bulldogs, there's not much they can do with the kind of firepower Oceanside has. So as the clamp goes, the Land Sharks goes. Gavin's going to, I don't know if that was a full sprint, but he was on a pretty good gait to the corner there on a ball that he didn't have to hustle after, but that's what this Land Shark team's about. Hustle when you don't have to.
And he's like, all right, guys, somebody
now someone come to me. And there's Caden Costa darting across the field, and he's looking for AJ. Can't find him, and now he's going to a high fly ball, can of corn for Andy Jones. He brings it in. Zanone's got it. He's one-handed it. He's got the left arm down. He's taking heavy, heavy wood from 18. That's Mike Lavner. And I sense that Mike Lavner's parents are behind me rooting him on, and as they should. What an effort by that young man. Excuse me. Caden Costa. Now the kamikaze. And he lights the lamp. There was only one way that play was going to end. And a little rope-a-dope there, because the last time he did that, he dished it. So am I going to give Caden credit for being cagey like that? Or?
He set himself up. He was thinking into the future, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So Caden Costa gets on the board to keep his streak alive, because he's had one in a few games straight now. So that's 18-5, clock ticking down, 5:38 to go in a Land Shark romp at this point.
And that's Costa lacrosse right there. That's everything we love to see out of him.
It certainly is. Wheels turning, body cocked. There was no way that wasn't going to end anywhere but the twine or in the parking lot. So, Bulldogs get the possession on a procedure issue. Land Sharks with this game well in hand. Sawyer Arnold on the defense.
Sawyer getting some coaching from his teammates.
Big drive inside and an answer by Gavin Harrison. There's a kind of a strange outlet decision there. And there's Kempker with some gritty play. And that's going to be gray ball. Ball's going to be inbounded by Brandon Hassan. Pushes it over to Martini. Martini winds, doesn't fire, pushes it off to 15. That's Drew Buckmeyer with his fourth goal of the game of the 6 goals that they have. Buckmeyer, what an outstanding grab. And good feed from Martini, shaken, not stirred, right off to the side of the net.
Real crafty shot there by Buckmeyer, too. Made Harrison go down to his knees thinking it was going low and just unloads it up top. Nice ball fake by Buckmeyer, and good job on him, 4 goals tonight.
Great play there. So we've got Robo Reese on the near side, Silas Gillum on the far, Clamp on the dot, and the Clamp can't come away with it here. A gritty play by number 10. That's Tully Ewing. But the turnover nonetheless. C.J. Johnson's got it. Back to Gavin Harrison. Gavin over to the pickpocket. Thomas has got nothing but grass. He launches it all the way up for Liam Rosebach. He takes the one hopper, fields it, drives in, takes a little wood, kind of got a muffin shot off because there was a stick check at the top of his swing there.
Yeah, a little, just enough to get his shot tied up.
So Liam's got it back. 18-6, running clock, 3:17 to go. There's Ian Long. He pulled it, and he puts it in. And that is 4 for number 4. 4 for number 4. Ian Long tallies his 4th goal of the game.
We got some more comments. It's about time. Sheila Johnson checking in. She said, "You're the best Oceanside dads. Make it enjoyable for the grandparents that are away." And we also have Go CJ, my awesome cousin, watching all the way from Florida.
Well, thank you all for your well wishes and your compliments. You're too kind. And I mean that. You're too kind.
And if they only knew how much we really love doing this,
we
too.
do.
Right?
This is a absolute labor of love. The clamp is running downfield with a ball that is not his. And the referee said, put it down and give it to Mr. Husky. Husky will run it into the zone. He's got Finley. Finley does his can opener. He learned from Peanut Seaton. Husky, boy, he's a big boy. He muscles a shot. Gavin says, get it out of here. Kempker's going to outrun the entire team.
Running for his life.
There were large people chasing the young man, and there is, oh my goodness gracious. What an effort by Owen Kempker to get that. It starts with him getting an absolute hernia hauling it upfield.
You know, Tony, I got to say this too. A minute 44 left, 19-6 game. You'd swear this is a 1 or 2 goal game with the way this crowd is going. And not only that, with the way both these teams are playing right now. Real good to see.
What a tremendous effort that Owen Kempker, he gets the ball, he outruns the team, and at the top of the restraining box, he dishes it to Ian. Ian gets drilled in the back, offloads it, and the man up defense or the man up offense, the machine is out there, which I would think at this point will be content to just roll it around and play keep away. Although Carter Gregory says that's not my brand.
They probably want that 2-0 on the board.
Carter says that is not my brand. I don't play keep away. I play for keeps. A.J. Zarzaka tries to mail one in. So they went from one side, they went to the other side, and they both landed it 6 inches high of the crossbar. Goals are backed up, no issue. We have to keep it in at this point. Jackson Hyman, he looks at MJ. MJ does a BTB for MJ, and that's how you spell goal.
That's MJ doing MJ things.
MJ,
right
oh my goodness.
No other explanation for that.
That kid is special. And how many goals is that for MJ? That's his first? But he had a lot of shots, and he definitely had 2, and that's going to be the game. That's going to be the horn. I'm not sure. The horn blows. There's 5 seconds left, but all the players are on the field.
It's
and
over.
At 20-6, they're going to call it. Oceanside in a romp over the Bulldogs, 20-6. The lights are on the scoreboard are out immediately. Everybody rushes. Gavin. So, what have we learned?
We respond.
Response.
Right? It didn't feel like it does right now at the end of that first half, I'll tell you that.
No, I think they went into halftime, and this Bulldog team thinks they were stinking upset over there, don't you think?
I definitely think that. And the difference was Oceanside responded. I think it started at the face-off dot. Cole DeClamp really kind of upped his game in there. And, he's here every week, but Peanut Seaton just doing what he does, causing turnovers, getting the ball downfield. Excellent job. The defense seemed to find their footing, I would say, a little bit more. And then the offense just started clicking on all cylinders, which I think they were doing just fine in the first half. I mean, would we have 9 points on the board in the first half? So
yeah,
that's nothing to be upset about.
No, so here's where we go from here. Okay, and we're going to wrap this post game up, but we're going to have to talk about it because in less than 24 hours, we're going to stand in this exact spot for the very last regular season game of our kids' careers.
This is where you're going to make me tear up.
Look, I've been choking on it all day. We got to be professionals here now.
Yeah.
We are going to stand on this field for the last time to call our sons' last high school game, regular season anyway. We do have a postseason, but the postseason is borrowed time.
Right.
It is win or go home, and any team can rise up and poke the bear. So, and that team coming in tomorrow is none other than one of the best programs in the country. It's IMG, and I don't care which team IMG sends here.
Yeah, they're so good. They
wear IMG on their jerseys.
Correct.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have the time tomorrow night, it is going to be a very special evening. We are going to do a doubleheader. The coach and I are going to call the girls' game, which we're excited about, and I'm really going to lean on you since you coached the girls' game for so long and I don't understand why they blow the whistle and nothing stops. I have a lot of questions tomorrow.
After the many years of coaching, I sometimes still don't know why they blow the whistle, and that's what frustrates the heck out of everybody with ladies lacrosse sometimes.
We're going to have to figure it out. We are going to watch our Clemson commit, Tegan Scott, who is fresh off a week in England playing for the women's national team of England. She scored 5 goals against the U23 Czech team last week.
I saw some video online. She's a beast.
She is something special. A great senior class that we're going to talk about. I had all the girls sent me their bios and all sorts of little tidbits. We'll have plenty of fodder for discussion between the two games. So we're going to start the broadcast just before 5 o'clock. Okay? And then we're going to go through the girls' game. And then immediately following the girls' game, Chris and I are going to vacate the camera area. We're going to escort our sons, and all of the seniors, girls and boys, will come through the Shark's Mouth and be recognized for their contribution to Oceanside athletics. It will be an emotional night.
That's going to be rough.
It'll be rough. It will challenge our skills that we've been honing for 2 years, if we have any. And then we will call the boys' game against IMG. Both games are against IMG. So stay tuned tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen. Get comfortable. And be ready for a very big night for Oceanside and Oceanside lacrosse. So
we just had a comment roll in from one of our viewers at home. Just so happens to be my father-in-law. He said he's loving the replays. They're looking awesome. So I'm glad I figured all that out. And the camera control and the announcers between both, just an amazing job.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Rick Natman.
Are the kids watching in Texas?
I don't know. I didn't hear anything from the kids.
And that might be what's wrong with our team in the first half. Those kids must be allowed to stay up and watch these games.
Well, I think I'll lay the law down tomorrow.
Especially into the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah, CJ and Lakin are our little mascots down there in Houston.
CJ and Lakin, we must change nothing.
Yes.
Okay, the recipe must stay the same. So, with that, any closing comment, Coach?
No, I'm ready to go.
All right.
Tomorrow we're going to have more talking than we know what to do with, so we'll preserve the voices and looking forward to some great lacrosse here at the Reef tomorrow.
Well, and as it would stand, I am going to go home and watch Penn State play in the Frozen Four. Conveniently, the Denver game is going to overtime, so I have missed none of it. So
perfect.
We are Penn State.
Did they get their starting goalie back, or are they still going with their?
I believe they're going with the backup. Yeah, I mean,
he's
once again,
stood in there, man.
Nothing. He has
awesome.
stood tall.
That's awesome.
So I'll find out. So I know my buddy Paul Clifford up at State College, CEO of the Penn State Alumni Association, are on his way out, retiring. He's locked into our game, and then he will jump right over to that one. So thanks for listening, Paulie, and my Bloomsburg brethren. With that, we are going to rest the voices for the next 24 hours, and we will be back around 5 o'clock tomorrow. Tune in for senior night.
Have a good night.